Trying to do this right for y'all. Trying to finish up before this. It's a beautiful sun. Should have came on the other side. Now, this is... What's up, boxer? Jamal, good to see you. William Franklin. Glad y'all joining me for part 2. Finishing up this restoration of the consular courts, where they're going to be in our community. Try to get y'all right when the sun go down. Good to see you. Lloyd Robinson, Consular Courts, New York Division. What's up, Zachary? Woo-wee! My family with me today. They dropping in. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this I'm bringing y'all up to speed because this was in 2017. So I'm not talking to y'all about the past or the present or the future, anything, anything like that. Real time. This is what's going on in the world today. Okay. So when we know this, we can prepare ourselves for what we finna do. All right. This was in 2017. The Order of the Great Seal put this into effect, and then we started the consular courts restoration. They know they on their way out because the corporations is drying up. All the heirs is waking up. When the heirs wake up and they say you can't have my money no more, then the corporations dry up. When the corporations dry up, they got to go somewhere or do something else. So we okay. Yeah. Diversity. We on page 11. We only got a couple more to go. Finish it up. Is essentially the condition of something or someone being different, or an instance where something such as placement, order, properness, or jurisdiction, etc., is established. In lawful or legal procedures, diversity as noted would apply in matters or controversies where an assumed claim of jurisdiction, not warranted and not competent or correct, would be pointed out for purposes of correction or for rightful procedure. As an example, diversity of citizenship is a law phrase that is applied with reference to the jurisdiction of the federal courts, which under the Constitution for the United States, set at Article 3, subsection 2, extends to cases between citizens of different states, designating the condition existing when the party on one side of a lawsuit or controversy is a citizen of one state, and the party on the other side of the lawsuit or controversy is a citizen of another state. Logically, the fundamental and primarily important issue of jurisdiction arises. Whom are the nationals a part of? The Moroccan Empire. Who are the United States Service Corporations a part of? Where does their jurisdiction extend? To the corporations, not the people of the land. The people of the land get served by them because they're the corporations. They meant to serve you. And y'all supposed to be living, building, and growing and doing everything you're supposed to do. Not serving the corporations with themselves. Right? So you're not supposed to be going there, getting a FRN notes. James Traficant speech, 1935. FRN notes are not money. Not supposed to be going there, slaving for them for these FRN notes. Supposed to be treating with them and saying, hey, Mr. Corporation, I own the land. I'm the heir. Here's the paperwork right here. Thank you. Now, because you know that I'm the heir to the land, guess what? These services that you're providing, they got to be provided for me for what? Free. Why? Because they doing commerce on your land. With fake money anyway. So, you want some monetary substance to back it. We need to be on the lands. How we going to back our own finance? Getting them minerals and the gold and the silver out of the land. All of the nutrients. Everything that exists in the land. That's what we do. Gather them up. Now we got some commodities to trade with. A man called me the other day, one of the Moors. He said, I got 70 acres. I'm trying to build this grocery store. I said, when all the family get together, is it all right if I send them to you when some of them want to build? He said, cool. So, group of people get together. Oh, we want some grocery stores to be able to feed our empire. Y'all go there, start growing. We good. Oh, we gonna eat today. Woo! We gonna be eating good. I'm telling boy, look, real good. Y'all don't know. Look, I'm trying to get y'all to be eating, so we ain't sitting here running around, exerting our life force, serving somebody else, corporations, and thought processes. Nah, man, we trying to eat good around here. Come on. All right. Using common sense and recognizing common law, one can reasonably comprehend that in criminal pleadings before a court of competent jurisdiction or any tribunal platform where the rights, the property, or the liberties of a party are involved or which are in question, that due process is secured and protected by the established law of the land. And so, as diversity holds in criminal pleadings, as example, a plea entered by a prisoner in bar of execution, alleging that he or she is not the same who was detained, upon which a jury is immediately impaneled to try the collateral issue, thus raised by force of law, recognizing and acknowledging the identity of a person and not whether he or she is guilty or not. What did I just say? That when you declare your nationality, right? This is what this particular paragraph is saying to the Al-Moroccan citizens of the nation, the empire. It says, and so, as diversity holds in criminal pleadings, then it comes down and it says, alleging that he or she is not the same who was attained, upon which a jury is immediately impaneled. So, they're going to catch you or you're going to catch them, however this goes. This is all the service corporation members. They say, oh, we just captured this person. Now, y'all got to go read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787. You capture this person. No person that's captured by a Christian, which are the corporations, really the way that they do business, all of them, every last one of them, the churches, the 501s, every last one does business like the Christian church. Christianity, guys, everywhere, okay? Business. It's straight business. You get the people in, they consuming, they giving their FRN notes, they giving their energy, they giving their time, they not spending time with their family, they separated, they not communicating, they not building. Why? Because they mystified by being spiritual. Woo. That's what they do. Woo. Now y'all know I was one. Alright, I was in the churches, I was snotting at the altar, okay? Because I thought I was evil or something. That's what they made me believe, and snotting at this altar, thinking I was evil. Finally woke up, said, hey, I'm a good person, I'm living my life, okay? I'm not going to be letting these people spiritually deceive me and make me think my conscious mind ain't pure. And it ain't connected to the laws of the land and to the nature and to the creator itself. Because that's what they try to do. If you feel like you evil, right? And if you dealing with the Most High consciousness, your perception of your relationship with that Most High consciousness will change. That change will cause you to behave a specific way. Maybe subservient instead of cooperating. Now, this is how you're operating. You're serving the consciousness, the God, the person, or the image that's been presented to you. You conquer a nation or an empire, you take its spirituality, you take its God. You're serving this person, their thoughts, their ideals, their works, their buildings, their people, their agendas, their motives, their everything, right? And you feel like your relationship with God is better. Instead of coming into your own and doing for you and your people, right? Because that doesn't make you feel good. See, if you valued your people, and you say you have a relationship with the Creator, and the Creator is the most worthy thing to you, and you know that the representation of the Creator is your people, then when you start serving them, that should make you feel good. But when they made you hate one another in the slave camps, beating you, pitting you against each other, letting some favoritism, letting some come out and treat with the people in the field, letting some stay in the house, when they treated you like that, you felt you owed an allegiance to them. And over centuries of time, that allegiance is instilled into our conscious mind. So you're okay with going to Mr. Corporation's man without asking him any questions, his buildings and the things that he has established. You're okay with going there and serving, right? Because you have to disconnect your mind from those type of things. Feeling like it's not okay to do for you and yours. Oh, build for you and yours. Oh, spend 8 hours a day working for you and yours, right? Whatever that building looks like the Sea Stars on the Facebook today teaching. Whatever that building looks like all of you Moors who are adept master masons getting out of the corporations instead of serving them for the FRNs, you put your hand to the plow and go build something out in the empire on that land. whatever that looks like. All the women who are experts in nutrition, they get together and they begin to develop curriculums for their societies concerning nutrition, how to properly eat, how to properly take care of your bodies, pull the metals out your bodies with cilantro and different things like that. The responsibilities of everyone is to be teaching each other what they need to know in order to thrive. Woo! Come on, baby. Let's get it. Using common sense and recognizing common law. Well, we got the jurisdiction part down. As well, we all know common knowledge of and open discussions on the subject of diversity at North America is deliberately suppressed, minimized, and or diverted into dysfunctional 14th Amendment de facto jargon. Being a prime status issue, and as a natural political and international law fact, diversity is and should be elemental in our responses to international relations and intercourse. Among the many active Moors of Northwest Amexem, we are called to address the important issue of restoring consular courts and their related and associated diversity functions at Northwest Amexem, Northwest Africa, North America, the North Gate. Much of this de jure juristic necessity has to do with the fact that the organic Constitution Covenant established for preserving equity and in government, equity of and in government at Northwest Morocco, the North Gate, has been unduly compromised by an entrenched criminal and misprision orient body politic. You're under occupation. You start operating in government, you won't be in occupation no more, because they're occupying your seat in government. As conditionally required, we active Moors of the Order of the Great Seal are well aware of the fact that our illustrious prophet Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Jew Ali. Now, all praise and honor. Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. For y'all who just popping off at the mouth about knowing who he is, please know his given name. And Ali is for those who have sacrificed something. That man was beat. That man was ridiculed. That man, when he passed away, it was said that they beat him, right? I don't think he felt nothing. He was a genius. He was a master alchemist. He was highly adept, right? So, well, this is how we respect the spirit of that man, is by doing what he wanted, and that's government. The whole entire Moor Empire and government. Firmly and authoritatively command the loyal and faithful Moors to help him in his great missionary work of helping to bring his and our Moorish American people back into the constitutional fold of government. To assist in our directives, we shall review and analyze an excerpt from a prime document set forth by Prophet Noble Jew Ali for all Moorish Americans. Keep in mind at all times the Prophet's dedicated work centered around rights. His dedicated work centered around rights, maxims, acts, and those likened things which promote the restoration of our lost estate. A divine warning by the Prophet for the nations is one of the prime sources of documentation that demonstrate the social and political philosophies and standing of those who maintain an affirmative and loyal position with the Moorish divine and national movement as founded by the Prophet. What did it just say? It said, his divine warning, which we're going to read again soon, it says, is one of the prime sources of documentation that demonstrate the social and political philosophies and standing of those who maintain an affirmative and loyal position with the Moorish divine and national movement as founded by the Prophet. So, when you hear all these Moors, oh, that ain't what the Prophet said, the acts ain't what the Prophet said, you ain't following the acts, oh, you don't know what he said, you can't be a El Bay, you can't be a Bay this, oh, this is what he did, this is what he said. Listen. If you are operating in constitutional fold of government, then you are honoring the Prophet. Period. If you are operating in constitutional fold of government, then you are honoring the Prophet. Now, the little nuances that these Moors try to use to be talking crazy to people, you don't know what the Prophet wanted, he was in the temple, all of them attacking you. You know that the only way they're honoring the Prophet and this divine national movement is going to move forward is if we do what he did, which is operate in constitutional government and civics and maxims and precepts and laws. That's what he did. So now you know when you're dealing with any person that's associated with being a Moor, if they're not nationalizing or helping you get nationalized, when that's the first order of business of the day, demonstrating, then it's a problem. You ain't loyal to the Moor. You ain't loyal unless you... This historical document is a major focus and directive, which is to be examined, analyzed, and acted upon by all credible and loyal Moorish Americans. An excerpt from Prophet Noble Jew Ali's divine warning is a quote followed. Money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, man, I have to articulate this in a way that makes sense to you guys, belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. So you want to sit here and continue working at these corporations, thinking that those FRN monies is your wealth, and you giving your time, your talent, and your treasure and your energy to them. Then you are in dishonor to your Moorish nation, your family, your friends, your citizens, everybody. You're in dishonor. And you think you're wealthy? That ain't wealth. Devoting your time, your talent, your treasure, your energy, your heart into your people is wealth. The people sitting right next to you in your communities. Y'all want to gangbang? Go gangbang somewhere else. Y'all want to sell dope? Go sell dope somewhere else. Y'all want to destroy yourselves? Go do it somewhere else, out of the Moroccan Empire. We're trying to build and heal. We do not need that no more. Woo, come on with it. I see y'all fighting, destroying each other, dissing each other, not building, taking from each other, being deceitful, hurting each other, your women tearing your women down, your mothers tearing your mothers down, all type of hatred makes you disconnect. You ain't got no type of relationship because you keep on fighting with each other instead of putting your emotions to the side and helping one another out. I'm gonna check you. And I hope every last one of you do. Okay, and even if you fight, still come together. If y'all got differences, that don't mean y'all can't communicate and build. Communicate and build in you while you hating each other then. Still help each other while you're hating each other then. If that's the case, while y'all fighting, give each other a plate of food then. At the same time. Still be unified. Woo, come on with it. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. And I am hereby calling all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work. Because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws and government. Not falling from temple work, not falling from Islamism, not falling from the Quran, not falling from your religious alignment with whatever spiritual deity or function you got going on, from constitutional laws of government. Better get that Constitution in your heart, minus the 14th Amendment. I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America, Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Come on with it. We almost done. There are other major and focused directives and instructions issued to all Moorish Americans, and coming from the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. These and other uplifting indicators likewise should serve us and inspire us in our continual work. Listen, children, you are at home, and the European is 3,000 miles from home, and he is going to have to take some water. When you start operating in constitutional fold of government, if they don't come alongside you, some of them are going to have to take some water. And that's okay. I'm chilling in the constitutional fold of government, in Moorish American consulates, with the people who are treating with international bodies right now so that the national children can be healed, can treat with other nations, have your own currency, have your own buildings, have everything that you've ever seen that you've never had that we can now provide, because people are starting to wake up and enter into their own self-governance as well. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, there are going to be new Moors that are going to come in with their eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. Wait. Seeing and knowing that are going to take you old Moors, seat you in the back, and carry out my law. That's what's happening right now. Now, I ain't gonna say, 50 of, you're only as old as you feel, If you feel 80, then, you're gonna be that. That's how you're gonna be. You're young Moor. You think you know everything, you young Moor. Nah, come on, man. Come on, old Moor. I got your back. I got whatever you need. I'm only here to try to assist you in this work. Look. I had to go around my elbow to get to my thumb to get what I wanted out of this government. So you, the citizens, don't have to. The nationals. Now, instead of having to go around your elbows, you could just work together in constitutional fold of government. It would be so much easier on us if the Al Moroccan citizens did that. All nations will turn against the United States one day. Is that not prophecy fulfilled? Can't you see? They're closing everything down. They're kicking the United States corporation out of every venue. They no longer want to use Federal Reserve notes. Nothing. That's a prophecy fulfilled right there. That's why you could bank on this man. All right? The half has not been told. If I told you everything, you would go back to sleep. That's about y'all inheritance and wealth and how he's seen our children and us loving each other on the land again. As our illustrious prophet said, reflection is the business of man. Any honest or dedicated Moorish American or historian possessing even a minor degree of integrity cannot deny that the researchable and reasonable principles embodied within the fundamental rules of law as found within the organic constitution for the United States and North America are at the heart of the Moorish divine and national movement. Logically, any and all associated activities, groups, and organizations rooted in the activities or studies of or inspired by this great humanitarian movement founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali must inevitably reflect the same. So, if you, any organization out there professing to be doing the work of the Moorish Divine National Movement, then you would reflect what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali does and has did. What is that? Operating constitutional government. That's what it was. Especially if any such orders or organizations stay true to the identifiable cause upon which the original humanitarian Moorish order was founded. And now, since we are still under occupation, we consider our Moorish affairs. We active Moors convene again via the order of the Great Seal to take on the ongoing responsibilities of enforcing our Constitution covenant, derived from Muslim law and deemed for governance at Northwest Amexem, North America, for the United States of America. The subject matter placed before us that we are charged to address at this time is, I'm working with you right now, consular courts. Consular courts are held by the consuls of one nation or country within the territory or jurisdiction of another nation or country. Now, that doesn't mean that consular of courts shouldn't be here. That just means they're to be established to be able to treat for all of the Moroccan Empire, wherever they're at, here, there, across the globe, across the seas, right in your living room, wherever. The seed of consular courts is in the mind of the people exercising constitutional form of government, right? So if the collective body does that, then at any point in time, somebody can become a juror and be able to effectively treat with any human being if they're violating the laws of their people, right? Service corporation comes up, even your own people, they violating your own laws. Doing what the service corporation people do. Y'all, we shoot each other. We kill each other. We be shooting at each other. Okay. Well, if we doing that, we have a responsibility to be checking them. We checking the service corporation members for killing each other, for killing our people. Oh, it's okay for them to kill our people, but it's okay. It's not okay for us to kill our people. Oh, no. You can't charge the European for killing our people if you're still doing it yourself. Any other profane thing that you be doing in the communities. The girl just talked to me today. We live together. we roommates, right? I work at the school. She telling me about these men that be lusting and trying to be touching on her, right? And telling me about this. I know every single person deals with generational curses. Right? Things that's sitting inside of them that they cannot control and they don't know why they exist there. These are generational curses. These are the things that you wrestle with as a person, as a human being, that have followed you your entire life. And you don't know why you do them or why you think them things, but they're there. And you know that. Well, that would be your lower self. And you constantly war against these things in your spiritual soul, in your body, the things that you want to do, that you don't want to do, but you still do. And I hear the scripture, it says, what I will not to do, that is what I do. So you see, it's not me, but it's the lower self in me that does those things. He said, what I will not to do, that is what I do. Why is that? That lower self that you're wrestling with. You don't want to love. You don't want to stand in truth. You don't want to stand in peace. You don't want to stand in freedom. So therefore, your lower self has more control than your higher self. Then you're going to keep acting like an animal. Because you can't govern your emotions and the choices that you make when you're dealing with the nationals and your family members and the friends and you're treating with the Europeans or whoever it is that you're treating with, that they had you some injustice. All right, so I've had them stand in my face and talk crazy to me. I answered with an intelligent tone. My people, my own people, the men and women of my communities, answer with an intelligent tone. There's no reason to be fighting no more. There's no reason. Consular courts are held by the consuls of one nation or country within the territorial jurisdiction of another nation or country, and established under the authority of a treaty for settlement of civil cases. In some instances or cases, consular courts also have and exercise a criminal jurisdiction. In respect to criminal cases, however, the home country, nation, government by territorial right, maintain the right of review in such cases by its courts. Among civilized governments, a consul acts as a chief executive magistrate. All right. So where are we now in the Al-Moroccan government as we build these consuls in our communities, these consulates? All of our brothers and sisters and family members will eventually be released from the penal holding facilities. They will be happy that they've been given their freedom. Because they have been given their freedom, they're going to do right for the Al-Moroccan Empire. Or at least that's our hope. If they don't, when the consulates are built, they will have to be there. And we will be treating them. It will no longer be economic slave sitting in the penal holding system. It will be man who made a choice that negatively affected the community, and now he has to answer for that choice, but he can still live and build and do what he needs to do. This is what it is. Okay? You're a man, you broke the law in the Moorish Empire, so your punishment is you got to build 50 homes for somebody. You know, if it will find levels of consequence, you know, over time. But if you're exercising criminal jurisdiction over your own self, you will never have to go there. We shouldn't even have to have that in our communities. People should be competent enough to be able to make rational decisions, to not be hurting one another, so that we can live in peace and harmony. Animals be kicking it. It's just a nature, of course, that they have to do what they have to do for survival. But the animals be kicking it. The humans the ones that got the problems with unifying and chilling with each other. Y'all supposed to be hanging out every day, all of you, together, talking about everything that has to do with the Moroccan Empire and your love and your peoples and your history and your culture and everything else and nature and learning and teaching one another all the time, non-stop. It should never stop. That's growth. That's the vibration. That's the energy in the atmosphere that's going to wake the conscious mind up. All the people. Self-discipline. You constantly discipline yourself to, no matter what these people do when they're treating you while you're asleep, you just keep shaking them up. You keep throwing water on them. You keep telling them the truth. No matter how much that ego wants to make them believe the lie, you keep waking them up. Keep doing it. United States Corporation Company, U.S. relinquishes jurisdiction in Morocco on day 1 of August 1956. The occupying European United States Corporation president and the board of directors of that United States Corporation Company, calling themselves Congress of their private U.S. corporation, we relinquish jurisdiction in Morocco. This private U.S. corporation, and with the said relinquishment having been recorded as being repealed via 141 to 143 in reference to consular courts in Morocco, the same is noted in Chapter 807 Statute 744. One must therefore remember and know the hereto suppressed fact that Northwest Mexum is the heartland of the Moroccan Empire, and that Northwest Mexum, Northwest Africa, is North America, the North Gate. Come on, we proving the point here, because this is a written affidavit in itself. 13, 14. As stated above. 14, 13, 14, 15. Dwight D. Eisenhower repealed and relinquished Foreign Relations and Intercourse, Section 143 RS 4085, relating to general jurisdiction of ministers and consuls of United States and venues of civil cases, as above stated. In light of the German Dutchman Dwight D. Eisenhower's action relinquishing jurisdiction at Morocco, the North Gate, it should become clear to active and conscious Moorish Americans as to the prepared wisdom of Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his constructing and presenting to the active Moorish Americans the divine warning by the Prophet for the nation and the divine constitution and bylaws. Clearly, the Moors were and are being prepared for exercising self-government again at the North Gate. Act 1 of the divine constitution and bylaw presents unquestionable evidence of regency preparatory restoration by way of the Moorish divine and national movement of North America. Breach of trust. Here we are, baby. Here we are. We're getting there. This is how they breach the trust, and this is how we come back with the trust. This is how we come back into alignment with being honest with one another. Our whole entire empire has to be honest with one another in order for us to heal. Truth is that we've been divided. That's it. All of the conscious minds that ever come across this video, the only problem you have, you are divided. Divided against what? Whether to proclaim your nationality or still be a part of the service corporation. This is it. Still be a slave, adhering to their customs, doing what they do, thinking how they think, eating what they feed you, watching what they give you, being brainwashed or whatever it is that you're doing, treating with them, getting in their mindset, having relations with them, whatever it is, that's the issue. Not unity. Not unity in national principles as a nation operating. This should be all over Morocco. We should have conferences about this everywhere. Every single El Moroccan that's doing anything. If he's got a store, if they've got land, if they've got businesses and they're industrious, while they're industrious, they need to be enforcing constitution and government all the time. Woo, baby. I hope you industrious Moors are listening. All of y'all need to become courts enforcing government. When exercising the social duties in society, this is the breach of trust, one is required to know, to support, and to enforce the fundamental autonomy, rules, and laws set forth for the peace and harmonies of the grand body politic of the natural people. These standards are commonly expressed written via a written constitution and or a treaty covenant. I would breathe if I was y'all. 1787 Treaty of Peace and Friendship. A whole bunch of other treaties. As many as you can. Because this is how you know what the governing bodies have said and set the rules and the boundaries for you living in unity. Constitution, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, foundational. Rights of indigenous people, foundational for you. 3 main major foundational things. Treaty of Peace and Friendship, United States organic constitution, and the rights of indigenous people, United Nations. Why? Because that treats with the whole world. That's why. Woo, baby. Come on, world. We're coming to you. The El Moroccan Empire coming to you, baby. We're right here. About to rule again. Woo, baby. Come on with it. Harmony's grand body of the politic natural people. These standards are commonly expressed via written constitution and treaty covenant. A breach of trust is any act that is done by a trustee which is contrary to his or her delegated terms of the said trust, or that is done or executed in excess of his or her authority, and to the detriment of his or her trust. This would include any wrongful admission committed by a trustee or any act required of him or her by the terms so stated in the trust. A breach also includes a misappropriation by a trustee of any funds or properties which had been lawfully committed to him or her in a fiduciary character. And so we measure by the aforesaid the related standards associated with the breach of duty. Oh, really? Well, I'm going to tell you who's in breach. Both of us are. The nationals of Morocco are in breach of the trust between themselves and the Most High Consciousness and the nature and the land, and also in breach of their own selves for not declaring their national heritage, right? That's one breach of trust right there. Bringing the curse over the land. It's bringing the curse over the land. And his words will turn the hearts of the children back to the fathers. Where are these fathers at? Where are these fathers at? Having consistent relationships with their children. Where are they? Developing and building and cultivating the spirit of the Son. Where are they? The S-U-N, Son, cultivating, where their light can shine through the nations. Where are these men? Please tell me. The reason why our nation, our national nation, is not shining bright like a beacon, because the fathers are not making the decisions to have responsible relationship with the children. Then the men, here's what they're doing: acquiescing, submitting to their lower self. And what they're doing is they're having lustful spirits move them. This is what they're doing. And they violating the matriarchs, violating the empresses, making poor decisions for their lives because they can't control themselves. What? Boy, stop. If you're a 40-year-old man and you lusting after these young girls, something wrong with your brain. 50 years old, 60 years old, still dealing with your sexual immorality. What? Boy, please. That's for animals. That's for little children. The the Sigmund Freud type thing, man. Alright, if you dealt with sexual immorality in your life, ever, concerning a push or a pull to do some things to some people, alright, if you ever dealt with it, then you know that by exerting that upon another human being, when you deal with it yourself, these is lustful spirits that are interchanging between one another in your communities. Stop doing that with each other. Excommunicate that feeling out your mind and your being. You do not need that. Oh, only what your eyes can see. That's it. Only what your eyes can. Oh, she's so fine. She's so, ooh, look at the eye. Look at it. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, ooh. Come on, man. That ain't no grown man. You see that daughter? It's your responsibility to teach her. That's your responsibility. That's it. That's the only thing you're supposed to be doing as a man in her life. Teaching. Hey, when you sit down, keep your legs closed. Because somebody with a lustful spirit could be looking at you. Hey, when you're dealing with these men, make sure you're screening them. Asking them thousands of questions. Guarding yourself. Spiritually feeling their energies to make sure they ain't gonna violate your soul. Come on, man. If you women don't, and the same, get a hold of your sexual immorality, you're gonna keep allowing these men, and you're gonna keep doing it to one another. You're gonna keep on exchanging those spirits, and you're gonna keep on destroying your communities. Why? All type of diseases. Keep on having kids without planning. If you're going to have children, plan. Save some money up. Do something. Just have sex, popping them out. Have sex, popping them out. No planning. Get your family together. Say, me and my mate is going to have a baby. Can we have y'all support? Instead of going to have the baby, right? This is what they're going to do. Have the baby and bring it to the church, right? And have people christen the baby. And say, oh, we the church, right? We're going to commit to loving these babies. But where they at, baby? When they bring those babies into the churches and they say, oh, we as a community are going to take the responsibility to help you care for your children. And then you call them on the phone and say, I'm hungry. Where are they at? So you know, when you're sitting in the 501c3s and you're giving your babies up to these people, you know that the word that they're giving you isn't true. So it's a false reality then. Oh, but it feels so spiritually good for connectedness. Everybody wants to be accepted. Accept yourself. Ooh, come on, baby. Come on with it. Where we at? Outside for preaching like that, I'm trying to get us through it real quick. A breach of duty is, in a general sense, any violation or omission of a legal or a moral duty. More particularly, we note or examine the neglect or the failure of one charged to a duty or to a post or to an office in their failure to fulfill in a just and proper manner the duties of an office or of a fiduciary employment. Every violation by a trustee of a duty which equity lays upon him or her, whether willful or fraudulent, or done through negligence, or arising through mere oversight or forgetfulness, is a breach of duty. A reference of addressing such breaches is expressed by Prophet Noble Jew Ali in his presentment of Caveat Emptor. Make sure y'all look that up. As made available to all conscious Moorish Americans who govern over our lives. All Moorish Americans. As made available to all Moorish Americans. We want to be fair, balanced, and responsible in our civic duties and social duties of keeping those who govern over our lives in check. This is why constitutions... Now listen, we're not talking about the service corporations. Listen, we want to be fair and balanced and responsible in our civic duties and social duties of keeping those who govern our lives in check. Who is supposed to be governing our lives? We are. So we're governing ourselves and putting ourselves in check and putting our nation in check and putting our people groups in check and putting our communities in check. That's what we're talking about here. Not anybody else. The only one who has rulership over you is you, your own conscious mind. This is why constitutions exist in the first instance. And so we review the meaning of the measures for recognizing breach of trusts, of duties, and of offices. The ethical principles are generally universal. Read Act 1 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws and draw from it the obvious foresight for the need of constitutional enforcement and the foretelling insight demonstrated by our illustrious prophet, Noble Jew Ali. The Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Now, where am I at? I'm almost done. We got one more page. Where did I go? 13, 14, 17, 18, 16, 15, 16, 19, 20. Almost there. Hold on, my bad. I done lost y'all. Somewhere in all of this. 20. Well, dang. Alright. So I'm a right wing it while I'm looking for this. Yeah, this is it. Please, women, get together with one another. Please. And start building. Start helping each other take care of your kids. Right? Please start doing that. Instead of letting this service corporation member brainwash and kill your children. Men, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all not going to be lasting for too much longer out here. Destroying your communities. Hurting your people. Lusting after your women. Doing all type of profane things. Y'all not finna continue to be allowed in this land. So, it's not something that any one man is doing. It's Mother Earth removing y'all sons that keep on violating the nation, the nationals, your daughters, your sons, and one another. It's her. She don't want y'all doing that to one another no more. So what she finna do is she's finna allow something to happen to remove y'all. So you better make a choice to change and love one another and fight against that lower self so you don't get that consequence. I'm telling you, the wrath of Allah is severe. If you don't want your peoples or whatever happening to you, you better take note. Y'all all know spiritually what I'm talking about. When you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, how your life turns into hell. Okay? Y'all also know what I'm talking about as a nation, as a collective body. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, your whole entire nation will turn to hell and chaos. Because the land wants to be healed. Ooh, come on. The following are additional directives and instructions from the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, and like the many other lessons shared, they should be helpful as inspirational tools for our work. It is the duty and responsibility of all loyal Moorish Americans to protect and to preserve those principles and all activities that serve to build upon and promote the Moorish Divine and National Movement. If you're still here sharing, can you put those acts up if you're able to, please? I lost that page somewhere, but it reads the acts and then it comes into this. After all, the great humanitarian movement was established to help uplift the people and to promote the restoration of your lost estate, yours and ours. Therefore, what one does for the Moorish Divine and National Movement, one does for self as well as for others. Remember also that the prophet stated, I am a universal prophet, and my philosophy will be universal. I came to you, Moors, my people, because you needed me the most. Additional laws for Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Grand sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses, each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under a heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Listen, right here is where you know what's going on. This is Act 1, a divine law. It says it must be approved by the Prophet. How is the Prophet and the spirit of the Prophet approving the works of those in the Moorish Divine National Movement? Through his spirit operating in Al Morocco right now. How is he approving it? Anyone that is operating the way he was operating, we have approval from him. Because that's what his spirit did. So it's touching all the Moors and waking them up, right? And it's saying, go exercise government. Because that's what I did. And now you just take care of your land. It says, any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed. Who are the former officers that are violating these laws right now? And they're in subject of being removed. All the grand sheikhs that aren't doing what he was doing. All of the people who aren't doing what Prophet Noble Jew Ali is doing. They're just sitting in their temples or sitting on their behinds and not being active in constitutional fold of government. They're just sitting in these more groups and posting all this information, doing whatever, right? Those are the people that are being removed. But just letting y'all know. If you're not operating in government, you're being removed. Because it's time for the people to govern the land. And you want to sit in your United States Service Corporation codes and policies and site drafts and USCs and UCCs and party creditor and all of that, when you already the heirs to this state. You already own everything. You will keep doing those processes, you go right ahead. We over here doing government. Wait. Governing the land, baby. All members must proudly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so. Because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. All nations will turn against the United States one day. Listen to how beautiful this is. So, Prophet Noble Jew Ali seen that the Vatican was going to say, our word is above God's word. And instead of the holy day being on the day that it was supposed to, we're going to put it on this day. We're going to worship the sun god. We're going to do that, right? Well, he just said, y'all get y'all children on that day and teach them everything that they're supposed to be taught. Are they supposed to be being taught the hegemony practices of the Christian dogma? No. Did I say that religion is bad or horrible or evil? Did I say that the people who adhere to the tenets of the Bible are evil? Did I say any of that? No. Just this. Are the children and the citizens supposed to be being taught in those venues? Obviously not. Because they're not teaching the children and the people of the nation what they need to know to be able to govern the entire land. That's what the Moorish American Council is doing. That's what Consular Courts is doing. That's what the Order of the Great Seal is doing. When we tell y'all to nationalize and you take your paperwork and you send it to Donald Trump, right? A living being who thinks he's governing the land, but he's only the president of the corporation, right? When you send it to United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and he gets your affidavit, right? He says, oh, that's a national of the land. We better not mess with them. right? When you send it to the governor of your state that you were born in, the one that's the governor of your state is hypothecating trusteeship over your land. He's saying, hey, all of these citizens that don't know who they are and what they're supposed to be doing, since we know who they are and what they're supposed to be doing, we're going to pretend they're them and do what they're supposed to be doing, which is government. Hey, here's some elected officials from everywhere that you never even seen in your life and don't even develop a relationship with the people. And you get to pick one of these two to lead you in the way. What the? Boy, you better walk with me, boy. I got to know you before I get my president. What? I don't know you. You ain't never did nothing for my life. You ain't never walked with me through my pain and my tortures and the things that I done went through in my family, and you think I'm finna pay homage to you to call you the name president? Oh, buddy. Yeah, right. Respect you as what? Such? Not? Come on, bruh. Don't be giving these people these titles that ain't did nothing for you or your people. Don't give them the honor of accepting or holding that title. They dogs and they vermin. Until they come up in and do what's right. And that includes all of your lovely pastors that you so attached to because they got some spiritual aura about them. This anointing ain't meant to mesmerize you because you feeling some type of way about the spirit of a living being. It's supposed to be used to heal people. Drawing all these people in. Oh, I want his spiritual aura feeling. And that's not what it's supposed to be. With the common folk, with the people. Because no matter how anointed or whatever a person is, they're still a regular human being that has a responsibility to you naturally, not spiritually. You have a responsibility to yourself spiritually. They aren't supposed to be the one cultivating your soul. Because if they do, if they're cultivating your soul and leading you through all of these spiritual texts, or they're preaching and they're talking, or the thoughts that are coming out of their mind and they're imputing into your mind, you're hearing it, it's vibrating in your ears, it's a vibratory, it's energy, it's vibration. You know what that does when you're hearing them? It causes your pineal gland, your mind, to be susceptible to making decisions based on what they are saying to you. So you want to go up in there every single Sunday and listen to a person that ain't even guiding you in what you're supposed to be doing the right way. They just talking in the air. And then doing some spiritual crazy stuff in their churches. Everywhere. The mosque too. When I went to the mosque, I had to put water in my nose. I sniffed the water and put it in my ears. Like, man, whisk my mouth out, wash my feet before I went and prayed to Allah. I did that. Okay. Well, now my ears clean so the conscious God can hear me now. Because I done washed my ears. I done snorted some holy water. Now my nasal congestion, before I go pray, I might smell Allah, right? When I smell Allah, then that's going to make me, feel a little better. Now, I do understand that you do want to be clean when you're dealing with your deity. But it's not the physical thing that you're doing that makes you clean concerning developing a relationship with your deity that you worship and love. It is the cleansing of the soul and the spirit and all the people that are associated with you. Oh, come on, baby. Being Moorish American and recognizing our national responsibility to enforce the Constitution, we also affirm our natural and divine rights of and to self-government. I have therefore completed this open book test to the best of my knowledge and ability. I trust that the test review will demonstrate a qualified measure of my degree of competence at this time, and that I may be conferred upon for consideration as a competent member for Moorish Council, and for assisting in the ongoing work necessary for consular courts restoration at the North Gate. I am your consul name, Asain Tab Jet Bay. Witness, thumbprint, sign, sent to the consulate. When you've completed the questionnaire, it will be determined if you're a qualified consul. Once you do that, There will be a building. You will be in that building. And who will you be treating with as a consul in the Moorish American Consulate? The Service Corporation members, the members of your community, the international community, the Order of the Great Seal. And now you're a fully functional governing body. Wait, right. So, children have somewhere to go to be taught the things of the Moorish divine national movement and the heritage and culture. So now your people, your men have somewhere to go and something to do concerning building. But these men want to sit around here. They don't want to give the Mufti training up, right? So now I got to go in and research all about Muftis and Mufti training by myself, even though they have this information to give to us, right? Now I got to do that.
Bro, we're stepping out.
Okay. Why? Why do I, as a Moorish American, when these men already have this training, but they want to keep it to themselves so they can go and get some fiat from somebody? Oh, the Mufti training, or this training, or that training. What the, man? Just get the information so we could be able to do what we need to do in this Moroccan Empire. You want my credit card, bro? Or, all right. See that? Just prime example, simple. Hey, bro, you want my money? If you need it for anything, come on, man. Every one of your brothers should be hearing that from you. Hey, bro, what I got? Every last one of your brothers in all your communities, you over there fighting over territory. You shooting each other in the back. You fighting each other over women and territory, right? When you own the whole land. And don't women outnumber men anyway? So if they do, then why are you fighting over one woman? There's plenty of women in our Moroccan Empire for you to not have to get mad at one another because they like her and she like him. Come on, man. Now here another brother dead. He dead because both the men love or lust or like the same woman. Now he dead. Another brother gone. Why? Because nobody told you that there was more than enough women to pursue to where you don't have to kill each other over one? Come on, man. If you that, boy, look, if you that hard up for a woman, then you remove from the work. All right? There's work that needs to be done. I don't know what y'all problem is, but I need y'all to get up out of your homes, off your televisions, off them sports, off of that religious dogma, and I need you to get out and take your hands and pick some bricks up and put some mortar and some cement or something and build something. Build, please. Why? Why would we do that? Look downtown on any one of your cities. How did downtown get to be downtown? Somebody was building. How is the Moroccan Empire going to be the Moroccan Empire? Somebody got to be building. Come on, man. And the brother just put it out there. If anybody want to go help him build the new renovation for the consular courts, call him up. I'll give you his number. He said he paying for the construction or whatever too. So, it's time to build. Got another more. Calls me up. 70 acres. I'm only using 5 or 10 for groceries. And a whole bunch of Moors can go where he at and start farming. Get some food together so we can eat. Come on, man. Well, unless you just want to keep partying and clubbing. Yay! Music sound good. Make it feel good. Just shaking that thing, boy. It's hot. Yeah! It feels so good, don't it? You ain't doing nothing. You ain't building nothing. Come on, man. Then you leave. And where you going after you shaking that thing? Feeling all good and getting all drunk. Right? Or feeling whatever, doing whatever. What's happening to you? Where you got to go back to? Right? The land that you're supposed to be possessing and building on. You wasting your time, boy. Oh, look at Housewives. Look at all these people entertaining me right now. Boy, I ain't watched TV forever, boy. I ain't watched no TV in so long, I'm telling you. They entertaining you. Just doing the dance, boy. Every day. That's all you doing. Sitting on the TV. Sitting in the video games. Just sitting around. Come on. Look. Bring your children with you. Bring your sons with you. Bring your daughters with you. Show them how to take their hands and plant and root and work alchemy. And there's geniuses right now in the Moroccan Empire. Rapid DNA modification. You are at the height of your capacity mentally and spiritually and emotionally. You better make good use of it. You are at the height. I'm talking about your brain is working the way it's supposed to. All synapses are firing. The ancestral spirits is downloading into you what is supposed to be being done in not only your personal life, but the entire humanity, for humanity to be better. Who's humanity? Aren't we? Aren't we the people, humanity, who are sitting here continually being persecuted and tortured and everything else that has to do? Feeling all crazy every day, being all depressed, being on all these type of meds, being on type of these chemicals, straight programming, man. Oh, no. Come on, man. You can't get out and smell no fresh air without being afraid that somebody done put something in this air. How you gonna get them up out of here? I'm telling you how. You exercise Constitution for the government. You govern the land. No more chemtrails. Hey, buddy, what you doing with our water? Man, we don't need no fluoride in our water. Did you know other countries have fought corporations and liberated themselves when they try to come take over their water source? Oh, but we ain't got enough chemical. We are. Hold on. Let me get y'all, right? Let me get y'all. We master adepts. We know all of this knowledge. We know alchemy. We know chemicals. We know biology. We know spiritually what we're supposed to be doing. We're so adept, right? But you can't govern your own water source? Oh, come on now. How adept are you if you don't even know the chemical makeup of the water that you drink and be able to purify it so when the peoples in your community are drinking the water, they're not being poisoned, right? We so adept out here. We so knowledgeable in all of this stuff. Mr. Adept, Mr. Want to be called Ali, Mr. Want to be called a grand composer, whoever the heck you want to be, Mr. Emperor. You want to be Mr. Emperor, but you ain't feeding nobody. You ain't building nothing. You ain't raising the sons up. You ain't raising the daughters up. You're not teaching them how to be ladies. You're not teaching them to not be popping these kids out. You just laying around, getting drunk, getting high, getting whatever, getting as much as you can, consuming, dead. Come on, man. Don't be sitting up here calling yourself a God and you ain't doing what a God does. God builds. God take care. God loves. God is unity. That's what God is as a nation. This is what you pressing. But the rest of the people know you hypocrites. Because they operate more like God than you are. If a nation is together, they operate more like God than you are. Because God is unified. Everyone up there, they're able to. The reason why the principalities and powers are able to govern the mathematical equations that are required to have the earth producing for its spirits and for its people. The reason why they know how to do that is because they're collectively together. That's why. And they are speaking to one another all the time, right? And those things that are, those thoughts that are being communicated are then transferred through the quarks. That's a little tiny material substance, right? The quark is in the cell of your body. Right? It's in the atoms. There we go. This quark, it's a little space. And that space is not governed by time. It's not governed by matter. It's only governed, it just exists. And in that space, the energy from the thoughts of the galactic powers are being downloaded into your being, into your thought process, into your psyche, into your mind. Man, how I woke up, right? 7 months ago, 5, 6 months ago. And I'm doing all of this. When I'm saying doing all of this, learning how. I've been reading and studying the scriptures for almost 20 years, going to these churches and everything. How did I learn in 7 months how to govern myself as an individual with this knowledge, with the knowledge of my nation and my ancestry and honoring my mother and my father? How did all of those curses get broken off of my life to where my spirit is now comfortable again? I can make rational decisions. I can not be led by the temptations or the lust or the thoughts that come into my mind, but I can govern and channel those things and fight against them. How did I do that? This is how I did it. I got back in alignment with my ancestral spirits. I proclaim my nationality. I made the conscious choice to no longer abuse women. I made the conscious choice to start teaching women to start loving themselves. I made the conscious choice to start loving my brothers instead of fighting with them. Why did I make that conscious decision? How was I given that power? Spirits aid you. The ancestral spirits, the cosmological forces, they aid you when you're in right standing in spiritual law. I love y'all. This is Consular Courts Restoration Development. What I'm going to do is, when we're done nationalizing you, or you're done nationalizing yourself, and we put all of your inheritance in trust. What is your inheritance? I'm finishing this up. I'm sewing these teachings up. Finna get offline and get in the website. Your inheritance is the land. So we're going to geographically locate where you want to be, right? We got the allodial land titles. We got some arms that we're bearing. We got family members that are united. They're all thinking one mind. They're not scared of the corporations no more. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're in alignment with their spiritual ancestors. They're building and planting and doing everything they're supposed to do. Okay, families nationalized. Now we got the trust. Geographical location, all of your records from all the corporations. Delete yourself offline as much as you humanly possibly can. Start taking your free national name and putting it into every single place it's supposed to be. You want it on your ID. You want it, every single corporation to know it. You want them all to know that you are a Moroccan citizen. Everyone. You want all the bill companies, everybody to know your free national name. They will address you as such. What does it do? El, Bay, Day, Ali, El, Bay. Vibrations, vibrations, vibrations. The Moroccan Empire. And then when you hear those and you read the definitions and you start behaving like Els and Bays and Days and the Moors who were noble, then you start seeing your community change. Ooh, baby. Now, everything is in trust. How are you going to be protected financially? How are we going to bring some remedy to the Moroccan Empire financially? We are not giving legal advice. One, we're not promising anything either. Every situation is different. And if you Moors out here are using the laws and the maxims to just do some stupid stuff, then Mother Nature going to find you out and something's going to happen to you anyway. So might as well make the decision to do right. After trust. Private motives conveyance, certificates of deeds, rescind all your contracts and your marriages. There should be no state mediating between you and your family. There should not be. I'm trying to stress it, all right, because I'm feeling it right now. It's going over me right now. If another human being in a suit, I don't care what race they are, has to come and look into your home, what? To see if you're a fit parent? What is that saying to a nation? If they can come to your location and be talking to you about what you are doing with your children, what is that saying to them? What is that saying to you? And what is that saying to the rest of the world? That you are incompetent. Because if you were competent, no one would need to come to your estate to talk to you about anything. Come on, man. Ooh-wee. All right. So, our babies out of these hospitals. They out of these schools. They out of these corporations. They back home. We got enough education out there and information. We got enough gigabytes of data of our history and everything that we're supposed to be doing. We start teaching our children that in the days. We relax and kick our feet up. We were so comfortable with serving, okay, that when we're laying around chilling, which I'm loving to do now, and just meditate and think and grow and plan on the future, we were so comfortable with serving that it's natural for us to just get up and go work for somebody else, or go work for the world, or go serve somebody else. It's natural for us not to care for our own self. That's what they did to you. Who are you? a collection of the people you are associated with, including you. That's who you are. So what are they going to do? Remove you from taking care of yourself. And my grandma say, self-preservation is the key to life. Who are you? Who is yourself? All of your people. That's yourself. Come on, man. You are them. They are you. That's where descendancy comes from. Say, we are what our people are. That's just it. That's where the descendancy comes from. That's why you got this estate. So please, remove them all. Get all your records. Get in trust. When we get in trust, the West Coast has been working on leaning the corporations, insurance companies, so you can get remedy when they're in breach of trust. All of you get remedy. And gold and silver or lands or material substances are something better than FRN notes that you think you need to pay somebody to live with. Talking about electricity. Research how to do it your own. Get your own electricity. Stop using these corporations. Stop slaving and giving them FRN notes. Being disconnected from your family. On the where? Plantation. Oh, well, how is it the same as slavery today? The man goes out, the strongest man. That's the man that get up and work. He go out and he work all day, disconnected from the family. Doesn't get to chill with them, don't get to talk, don't get to communicate his mind, don't get to communicate his will to the children and the next generation, how he wants them to be governing. That's disconnection, slavery. How else? Come on. Here's the mother. She got to work to pay the bills too. She gives her child to somebody else. Who is that person? The corporation. Who was the corporation before they were the corporation? The slave master. How does this not make no sense to you? You go serve on the corporation. There's a whole bunch of child care centers or whatever of the European colonists taking care of your babies, right? Inputting into their mind what they want to. And then you come back home. And guess what? You can't even talk to one another. Why? Because you don't speak the same language. Why don't you speak the same language? Because every single person that you're dealing with is changing your language. That's why. One body, one mind. Woo-wee. Get your babies up out of there. Oh, listen. How we going to deal with child care? All of you sisters, just get together. The sisters that don't have nothing to do, take care of the babies. The sisters that do have something to do what you need to do. How's that hard? You're talking about all these women in these projects. Everywhere. Just running around doing whatever. Smoking this weed, having this sex, having these abusive men in their houses, beating on them, treating them like mess. All of these women, right? Same with the men. Sitting in our communities, selling dope and lounging around and having sex with all these girls and having sex with all these women, popping out all these babies with no type of plan for nothing, right? All the women get together. $203 SNAP benefits multiplied by 1 million women is 200 million FRN notes. Start thinking economy. Everything you get from them until you're separate, use it to build with one another. Oh, because there'll never be no more anywhere. Oh my God, I can't give this away because I'll never get any more of this. What is this, man? That you can't give it freely. Time, talent, and treasure to one another. That's what this is that we so covet. Let me tell you how. I say, oh, I just got this gift from one of the Moors for doing the nationality, right? This is myself dealing with myself, dealing with my lower and my higher. This is the consciousness. I said, the other person that's been doing the work with me, probably more so than me right now, think we're about even, but sometimes, look, it take me a little bit to keep up, all right? I say, I'm going to give them this amount and I'm going to keep this amount. I said, no, split the difference in half. We're walking through life together. They're doing the work, I'm doing the work. But for that split second, your conscious mind is like, oh, maybe I'll keep a little bit more. Man, that goes with the information, that goes with the knowledge, that goes with the spirit, that goes with everything that you're doing. Because you think there's not enough. Because you don't know You got land, baby. I don't understand y'all. Y'all think it's not enough for everybody to just be able to give to one another? You're in a sandwich. Make two. Bring one out. Guarantee you find a hungry person. Develop and cultivate relationships between one another. We all out there. We all done. Consular Courts Restoration. When we're done, we're going to send you this. When you're fully competent and have proven airship, then you're going to be in government. And we hope, while you're in government, you don't corrupt it. So then our empire going to fall again. Alright? You're operating in government. Stay noble. And our empire will stay the way it's supposed to be. Love y'all. Be back with you.